Mr. Calvin Braxton. Oh, and before we do that, I do want to read into the record the fact that Mr. O'Dwyer has submitted statements into the record, and he did in the previous meeting as well, so they will be part of the record. Mr. Braxton.
Yes.
Representative Villio for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning or afternoon? Probably afternoon. Hi, Mr. Braxton. Good afternoon. You formerly served on the Louisiana State Police Commission. Is that correct?
That's correct.
In fact, I think you probably served with a very good friend of mine, Lloyd Grafton.
Yes, sure did.
Sure. Mr. Braxton, in late May or early June 2020, did you in fact receive information relative to the in-custody death of Ronald Greene?
Yes.
Were you told that there was a possible cover-up regarding his death?
Yes.
And when you received that information, you were upset, angry, fair enough?
Correct.
Okay. Did you in fact then call the governor's office and relay that information in an attempt to expose the truth?
Not at that time, but I did later.
Okay. When later did you?
I wanted to vet it to see was any truth behind it before I would do it, because we was
sure.
By being on the board, we was getting so many phone calls about things that was going on, and vet what was good, what not. And when I got to the point, then I made the call.
Can you tell me when that was, and to whom did you speak and relay that information?
After I vetted it and found out that it was true, it was in early May, April or May of 2020.
And who did you speak with?
I spoke to a young lady named Val.
Val?
Yes, at the governor's office.
Do you know what Val's role was at the governor's office?
I knew her because from being around, I met her, and that's how I knew to call her. That was the person that I knew to call.
Fair enough. Did you ever speak with anyone else with the governor's office?
No, I did not.
Did you ever speak with Val subsequent to that to find out what she did with the information?
She passed it along and to vetted it herself to see whether any truth was behind it, and before she would bring it to the governor. I thought it made sense after I heard it to get it in front of him, because I didn't want him to be blindsided
sure.
at the time, and she did. She vetted it, and she contacted me back and told me that it was true.
And do you recall when she contacted you back?
Had to be 3 or 4 days probably after that. She called me back and told me.
And she indicated to you that she had relayed the information to the governor?
She had, what she told me was that she had contacted, I would assume after she got it vetted, that the governor had seen it, and she also indicated to me that after that, Reed was on his way over to the governor's mansion right then, after she found out that it was that it was true.
So this was sometime in early April or May 2020, and then 3 to 4 days later, Val contacted you back, said she had vetted it, and that Reeves was on his way to the governor's mansion. Is that pretty much it?
That's correct.
And you then called retired Lieutenant Bucky Millette and relayed the same information, true?
That's who vetted it for me before I brought it to the governor's office.
Okay, I suspect that might be. Now, who was the source that provided the information to you exposing the cover-up?
At this point in time, I don't want to divulge that due to the fact of things that are happening, that's happened to me. You got people that I call them whistleblowers that's getting brought out in public, tormented, and
fair enough, Mr. Braxton. I really I'm not looking to push you on that information, because I sincerely appreciate that you're here testifying in your honesty. And I don't know that information certainly is not necessary for my purposes, so I'll certainly honor your request to keep that confidential at this time. On or about June 8th, 2021, I believe you learned that Mike Noel, who was the former chief of staff under Colonel Reeves, was going to be confirmed as chairman of the Gaming Control Board. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And did you have some conversations with Senator Tarver with concern about the fact that Chief of Staff Noel would have been in charge in the 13 months of time for the Ronald Greene investigation?
That's correct.
And did you learn that Governor Edwards and Senator Tarver had a meeting ultimately that ended with Noel's resigning from the Gaming Control Board?
Yes.
Within that conversation, was there any mention of when the governor knew the additional facts about the in-custody death of Ronald Greene?
No.
Thank you. I yield. Thank you, Mr. Braxton.
To Mr. Braxton, I don't know if Bilio covered this, but did you tell us exactly what you were told about the cover-up and then exactly what you relayed to the governor's office?
Oh, I got several, phone calls about the Greene incident, and what I did was I contacted Mr. Bucky Mier and asked him, he lived up in that neck of the woods, did he know anything about that? And he said he didn't. And eventually, 2 or 3 days later, he double-checked and found out that it had happened. And one of the reasons why that I wanted to bring it to the attention of the governor, because it was getting ready to hit the news. And I just thought, being a friend and a person to contact somebody to let him know it was getting ready to hit the news, and to get out, kind of let him know to get in front of it. And lo and behold, 3 or 4 days later, it did hit the news. So
when you're talking about it hit the news, do you mean talking about the videos and stuff like that it came out?
I don't know about the video, but the Greene incident was being.
And so what was the information that you actually, when you tried to relay, or you relayed to the governor's office, what did you actually tell them? You said Ronald Greene was a man and he was beat to death. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but what exactly did you say?
That was similar to what I said to that he got beat and maybe he got killed while he was in the custody of the state police.
And did you mentioned you're talking about a cover-up? So you said, hey, there's specific people involved that are trying to stop this from coming out, or there, leadership of state police is trying to stop this? Did you say anything about that, or you're just saying this incident happened and I'm aware of it and you should be aware of it too?
Correct. That's exactly the incident. There wasn't anything pertaining to a cover-up. It was just strictly to get in front of it, to make you aware that this could be coming out, and be prepared.
All right. Thank you. Rep. Marcel.
Thank you for being here, Mr. Braxton. I think you just answered my question. I just want to know specifically, what did you tell the governor's office about what you had heard? And it was not about the cover-up. It was just about the incident, right?
That's correct.
And the fact that he may not have died as a result of the crash?
That's correct.
That a part of it, right?
That's correct.
And about the beating part of it, was that correct?
That's correct.
So you did let him know that?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here, Mr. Braxton.
Thank you.
Rep. Jordan.
Thank you, Mr. Braxton. I appreciate you coming here and testifying today. I just want a little more clarity myself, and I apologize. I may not have heard all of your testimony, but when did you learn about the Ronald Greene incident? May of
2020.
May of 20. All right. And shortly thereafter, you contacted someone in the governor's office?
Yes, I contacted Bucky Mier to vet it to see whether it's true or not, and then I made a contact to the governor's office.
And that would have been somebody named Val?
Correct.
All right. And then when Val, just so that we're clear, did Val say, again, what did Val tell you? Who did she say she reported it to?
She didn't tell me who she reported it to. She just called back and said that she found it and that Reed was on his way over to the governor's office at that time.
All right. So he was on his way. Reed was going his way to the governor's office.
Correct.
All right. I'm assuming to discuss what the information you had relayed.
That's correct.
All right. All right. Did you ever get any other follow up beyond that?
No.
All right. All right. Thank you. That's all I got. Thanks.
Thank you. And to be clear, how'd you find out about this?
I had a phone call. Telephone call.
And look, I feel like I have to do my duty. You've had some issues with state police. Is that correct?
I've had a ton. I've been through 9 investigations with the Louisiana State Police. I have my family. It's been bad, and all because I want to do the right thing. And doing the right thing is, if I collaborate, it costs me a lot of money. It's cost the state of Louisiana a lot of money. I have spent over $200,000 of my personal money fighting, not just the Louisiana State Police, J.D. Oliver that just left here, and the Louisiana Troopers Association.
How did you get on the commission?
I got appointed by Governor Gender.
Okay. And have you been successful in any of your litigation so far?
They have put me through the ringer. I was assumed, the last time I counted was, I was told the state of Louisiana probably spent $600,000 on this case. At one point in time, I didn't have the dream team. The state of Louisiana at one time had 7 or 8 attorneys sitting in there with my one attorney negotiating this deal. We've tried to settle this deal. They've come twice.
You don't need to talk about some discussions. I was just trying to get a status of where it is. I don't want to.
It's been a deal, and it's something that's simple that somebody did on a Facebook posting, and it is.
We don't need to get into it. I'm just trying to.
Yes. Okay.
I'm trying to just make I'm trying to be fair with everybody and have a balanced committee as possibly as I can. And what was your motivation to contact the governor's office?
I thought with all the stuff that was going on with me, I knew him. Had conversations with him after he got elected, before he got elected, and I just thought, being the guy that I am, to give him a heads up to possibly let him know that this could be coming down the pipe and kind of be ready.
But you didn't talk to the governor himself?
I did not.
Okay. You just talked to somebody within the administration?
That's correct.
All right. Well, we don't have any other questions for you. We really do appreciate you coming.
Can I say one thing? Let me say this. The Louisiana State Police does a fantastic job. But what happened to me, but they do good work, and I will say there's a lot of them that was involved in my case, gone. So I just got to go forward. But I appreciate the time, and I don't have a problem in coming back if I need to come back. And thank you very much for your time.
We thank you. We thank you for coming today.